Hello, good people, welcome back. As we talked yesterday, as we on our last recording, we talked of finishing up on strings, and today we're going to start on indexing a string. Then we'll do concatenating a string, basically doing a string. Then that will be done for the introduction to strings. So let's get. I hope our last class was clear. This is what we covered yesterday on strings, and I hope you can go through the video uploaded before this, and you can get some insights on introduction to string. Then let's finish on indexing a string. So basically, we index a string when you want to access a specific or individual character of a string. So to access individual character of a string. Index. Basically, to find the index, the place where an individual character of a string is. So basically, a string, as we had shown examples initially. Strings has an index. A string has an index starting from zero. Starting at zero. At zero from the leftmost. How do you mean by this? If I have x is equal to and write here string. What does this mean when we say a string has an index? Every character. Sorry, what I mean here is a string has. In a string we have characters, right? So the characters start from zero, from the leftmost character. I hope that's clear. String characters. String character. Every character in the string. Let me just type every character in the string. It now makes more sense that every character in a string has an index starting from the leftmost character. So from our string here, with a variable name of x, this is our leftmost index. This is our leftmost character. Sorry. So e is the leftmost index. So it means index 0 will be e. Oh, that's clear. E, then we'll have one at a. Basically, it goes all the way to the last character. How that's clear on how indexes are split or distributed in a string. Basically, if a programmer wants to reference a specific character in a string, I want to reference, let's say this C, or we normally use square brackets square brackets to reference to specific characters in a string. Basically, we will say now that our variable name here is x. So we want to if we want to reference to the first one, which is it start with 0, we'll say x, then we use a square bracket, then we say O. So this will print E. So this should be E. Exactly. Sorry for that. Sorry why I don't know why it doesn't 3 here. It should be E. But this will print E if we print x at 0. Hope that's clear. How we reference. So how we normally reference a specific character in a string. We use the square bracket. We can do an example. So we'll print this in our types. So it's example. So this is our string. Now we want to reference so if we print x right now, so let's do print of basically now do print. It prints is butler. Now let's reference to, as we said, a square bracket 0. Let's see what it will print. It prints E as said here, 0. Let's see. Let's print 1. Sorry. Let's print 1. So if we print 1, it prints A. I hope I said here, and so on and so forth. This is what I just we print 0, prints E. 1 goes the next one. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to the last character of the string. That's how we reference string. That's how we reference specific characters in a string. I hope we're clear up there. We can see another example. So we can say, let's say we have 8. What do we have in 8? Sorry. We have L. So this is L. Oh, that's clear. That all the characters in a string have indexes. So we just print the index and then we see what's stored there. I hope we're clear up to there. That should be it for now. How to reference how to reference specific characters in a string using index. Now we have another thing to cover. I hope we're clear to that. So another thing to cover is how to change string variables. I hope we now clear up to now for what variables are, variable names and the likes. So strings are immutable objects. Strings are immutable objects. Hope that's clear. And a string variable cannot be changed once created. This is what we had talked of initially when we were covering objects. If you haven't covered that, you can just go back to our video on objects. You can go through it. So strings are immutable objects, which means it cannot be changed once created, right? Meaning it cannot be changed once created. I hope we are clear to that. This is just a repetition of what we had covered initially. So strings are immutable. same case to integers. They're okay. We'll come up in integers as we go along, but I was just saying what they have the same characteristics. So strings are immutable, meaning that it cannot be changed once created. Example: once this is created, it cannot be changed, right? If we say x, our x here in letter 0, in index 0 we have e. So okay, sorry, I mean if we want to update a string, then we'll come here and say x is equals to a, or we try and update a character in the x variable using the name, using the variable, using this format. It will cause a type error when executed. Instead, an assignment statement must be okay. Instead, if we want to change, an assignment statement has to be used to create a new string object to replace a string. And this is an example. So what have we said when we want to change? We have said we cannot use this way. So this way, if you want to change a letter O, if you want to change to F, no, T, this will give a type error. So you cannot change it. It will give a type error when you try changing it. Now, how would you change? So instead, the best way to do is we create an assignment. Create an assignment statement. We create an assignment statement. Create a new string. Basically, we're going to create a new string object to replace the old string. I hope we are clear up to that. Replace old string. I'll use an example. I'll use an example. If we have a alphabet, right? Alphabet is in, we'll say we have a variable name alphabet, which we have stored A, B, C, D all the way to Z. So when we print lowercase alphabet, right? Lowercase alphabet. So when we print a lowercase alphabet, it will change. Okay, it will have the alphabet changed to lowercase, and if we want to turn it to uppercase, we'll have to create using the uppercase. If we want to change it to the uppercase, sorry, we're going to have the alphabet, then we can now print using the uppercase, and then the alphabet. I'll show that example as we go along. So let's do an example. I don't know if you react to the alphabet. Go to your alpha set. We're going to so we'll say alphabet, and then let's use the word alphabet. Let's say right. So we have our alphabet. So we can do a print of this. And print. Lowercase of alphabet. sorry. Comma. Yeah, hope that's clear. So we want to change it to upper. Uppercase. Oh, sorry. Let's print this and see. Python. Alphabet. No. Alpha. Exactly. That should work. Sorry. So choose as in lowercase. We want to have it in. We want to print the same. We want to print the same in uppercase. We'll have to recreate it, then have it in uppercase. Then you can print it as well. I hope that's clear. Like we cannot change. Once we have assigned this alpha to this in small letters, we want to change. We want to change it. We want to change, let's say A or B to. We cannot come here and say alpha is equals to uppercase of A, uppercase of index A. That will give a type error. I hope you're clear. So if we want to create another in uppercase, we'll have to create another alpha, assign it to uppercase, then print as well. So I hope that's clear. Another thing I'd like us to cover is okay. I've just explained this, that we have to create an assignment to a new string object to replace the old string, whereby in here I'll have to create alpha with now the uppercase to replace the old one. Hope that's clear. Hope that's clear. All the explanation there is clear. Our last coverage will be on concatenation. Basically joining. Basically add new characters to the end of a string. So concatenating a string means adding new characters to the end of a string. Once a string has ended, adding characters to the end of a string means concatenation, string concatenation. For example, you can have a string A being new, then string B new being yo. So we can concatenate this to make one word New York. I hope that's clear. That so it will create a new string now, New York. Now it will become one. Now it will be without being single strings. This is string A, string B. When you concatenate, it becomes New York, one string. I hope that's clear. So result of concatenation is a new string. Result of concatenation. I hope we're clear. So this will form a string C. So we'll do C is equals to A plus B, which will print the new string. That's what I mean by this result. Yeah. I hope we're clear. I hope we're clear with that. We'll see an example in a bit. Another thing we have to know about concatenation is basically the initial string won't be altered, so you can still print you say this is A, this is B. So the old string won't be altered. We're just using the plus operator. We're using the plus operator, and we can use it multiple times in a single expression. So we use the plus operator in concatenation. Another thing is it can be used multiple times. Multiple times in a single expression. Hope you're clear up to that. On concatenation, basically there are rules or how concatenation should look. Yeah. So concatenation only happens for string objects. Basically, you concatenate just strings alone. You can't concatenate. You can't concatenate string and a number. I hope that's clear. Concatenation. String concatenation can only include string objects. String concatenation only happens for string objects. String and a number. So we say string and a number concatenation produces will give an error. A type error. So string concatenation happen only for strings, and string and a number will produce type error. For example, if we do an address of 332, then we add to a string of main street, we should be able to convert the number to a string. Then we can now do an addition, or we can now do a concatenation. Address, I'll do an example. I'll write an example here. Example. Address is equals to 330, and then we want to concatenate with minst. So this we are concatenating an integer and a string. This will give a type error. So for us to what do we do here to solve this? We convert the string. Convert the int to string and do the concatenation. So we'll do address is equals to. So we'll do a string. We'll make it a string, and we'll do 330. Then plug the main string. So this will work. This will now work because we have converted the integer into a string. We convert the integer we had here into a string. Then we now do concatenation to the string we had over the main string. I hope that's a good explanation. We'll do a few examples, and then we can so let's do here concat. Let's do that example in our file. We see we see if it will accept to print or what kind of error should we have. So we do print address. So basically we print address, we have the address here, we have an integer, and we have the main string. So what happens when we print? So basically we're having type error, as we said initially. We're going to have a type error. So here is it, what we just explained. Basically it's saying unsupported operand types for integer and string. Basically you can't add plus, you can't do a plus for an integer and a string. This is what we said in our explanation here. I hope this is error we need to say we'll get over type error. It's here. Now, so what do we do? What we have just said we will do str here. And we put inside the now the integer we have has been changed to a string. If we run that, we'll have the main string. Then I can add a space here. But it looks a little bit neat. Now looks better. That is the 30 main string. How that's clear. We've converted the integer into a string. Then we've added to the string we had initially. Let's do another concatenation for first name, last name. Let's do names. Name. I want to do concat of name.py. So what happens is we'll want a user to so user enter name, first name, last name, concat to yeah. Let's do that. User enters their name, first name, last name, then we concat it to full name. So basically we're going to ask the user first underscore. You can try this in your file as well. Just enter your first name, so they enter their first name. If so, in a variable name called first name, then you enter last name. Last name is equals to input. Enter your last name. So here the user has entered their first name and last name. Let's go back to what we talked over concatenation. First one and the second one, they are going to be separate, as we've just seen here. First name and last name will be. So we'll now have name of the user being first name, then we use the plus sign, last name. So that's clear. We did say for concatenation we're using plus sign, so we take the first name and the last name. The first name remains the variable first name remains untouched and last name remains untouched. We're creating a new variable name of last name, and then we just print do a print of the name. Let's see. So we're now using name.py. first name, let's say easy. Last name, code lab. Easy code lab. We've seen, we've had easy code lab being printed. We can still print the first name and the last name so that we can really see that it's not affected by us doing the concatenation. So we can print first name, then we can print last name. So when we do this, enter your name, that is last name code lab. So basically we have easy code lab as a combination of, we have line 14 being printed first, there's a combination of both the first name and last name. Then we have the first name being easy, second name being last name. So you can try that with your name, the name of whichever, and you can try this using different variable names, different fields. You can enter fish 1, fish 2, or food 1, food 2, enter the name of the food and then the name of the second food you like, then you input. Or we say enter food 1, enter food 2, then you do a combination of food 1 and food 2, then you see what happens when you combine both. Hope this is clear. We've done a concatenation of first name, last name. Basically that's what happens. This, we've seen a new string being created, being the name here. We use the plus operator as we've done here. We use the plus. It can be used multiple times. So had I had the last or the plus, had I had another plus here, we'd still use a plus sign here. That's what we see. We can use multiple times in a single expression. Hope that's clear. Then now let me say if a user had this one being an integer, what could happen? Let's say your first name is 1, right? Let's say your first name is integer. What could happen? If we had the username being an integer? We had seen this in our concat, in that we first had to convert the integer into a string. I hope we have covered majorly everything on strings, and when we meet next, we're going to be talking about lists in Python. So do more examples on strings concatenation. Given you a gist of what it happens. In case there's anyone with questions, let me. The comment section is open. Just drop me a comment. Let me know what you think, and you can share this to friends who are new to Python. This is just basically new to Python, basically for beginners. We're going to do our best to get the basics, then move forward, master Python. Welcome to this series, and share this to your friends, share this to your families, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one when we're talking about lists. Bye.